The HCS Resolute hummed softly as it slid into docking bay 3 of New Samarkand Station, the sprawling orbital hub orbiting the planet Esmera Prime. Commander Aaron Voss stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the viewscreen where the station's immense structure loomed like a beacon of fragile peace. A crowd of diplomats, military officers, and news drones swirled below in the docking corridors, their uniforms a kaleidoscope of humanity's various factions and alien visitors. The station was a crossroads, a melting pot of uneasy alliances and simmering tensions, and Aaron could feel it in the charged silence that settled around him. Commander Voss, his executive officer, Lieutenant Mara Kadir, approached with measured steps. "The Nigma delegation has arrived. The Council expects your presence in 1 hour." Aaron nodded, his jaw tight. "I'm not here to parley. They're bluffing." Mara offered a brief, knowing smile. "You never could play the diplomat." The truth was, Aaron had spent the last decade mastering battlefield tactics, not political finesse. His reputation was carved from risk and resolve, the man who bent rules to save lives, even if it meant earning the glare of superiors. The Akari incident haunted him still, a reckless gamble that saved a colony but cost too many civilian lives. He intended not to repeat those mistakes. The conference hall was a vast chamber illuminated by soft, ethereal lighting. Walls pulsed faintly, designed to evoke calm, but Aaron felt no peace. The human delegation sat rigidly on one side, clad in dark blue uniforms with silver insignia. Opposite them stood the Nigma, tall and unsettling. Varen Thul, high strategist of the Nigma Imperial War Council, moved with the grace of a predator. His exoskeleton shimmered like obsidian, ridged with plates that caught the light, his golden eyes cold and unblinking. His four-fingered hands folded neatly as his translator AI intoned his words with mechanical precision. "Commander Voss," Varen began, voice low and measured, "the Nigma Empire demands your immediate withdrawal from the Karith and Zera systems. Your colonies encroach on sovereign territory. Cease your expansion, or face extinction." Aaron's eyes narrowed. "You claim sovereignty over uninhabited stars and call us invaders? You expand relentlessly, swallowing weaker species like locusts, yet accuse humanity of intrusion?" Varen's mandibles clicked softly, a sign of disapproval in Nigma culture. "The order of the galaxy is not dictated by your short history. Your presence is a contagion, an aberration. Withdraw or be purged." A ripple ran through the hall. Aaron's fingers clenched the edge of the table. He met Varen's gaze without flinching. "We will not kneel to threats." Varen inclined his head slightly. "This is mercy. Your people will thank us when you are gone. Our next meeting will be over your ashes." With that, the Nigma delegation rose and departed, their footsteps echoing like ominous drums. Aaron exhaled slowly, the weight of those words settling on his shoulders. The fragile peace was shattered. Back on the Resolute, the hum of the engines was a steady pulse, a reminder that war was no longer a threat, it was imminent. "Commander," Mara's voice cut in, sharp. "We're receiving a distress call from the Bright Horizon convoy. Nigma raiders have engaged them in the Karith Belt. Civilians under fire." Aaron's heart tightened. "Coordinates?" "Transmitting now. They're pinned near asteroid cluster Theta 9. Orders from High Command, hold position. No engagement without Council approval." He stared at the holomap, the blinking red icon of the convoy flickering weakly. The human vessels were slow, vulnerable. Aaron's mind raced. "If we wait for approval, they'll be dead." He glanced at Mara. "Prepare for immediate warp. I'm taking the Resolute in." Her eyes widened, but she nodded. "Understood. Prepping engines." Seconds later, the warship tore through subspace, emerging amidst the jagged rocks of Theta 9. Plasma bolts streaked through the void, the Nigma corvettes pressing the assault against the convoy's fragile transports. Aaron gripped the command console, voice calm but firm. "Bring us into the debris field. Use asteroid cover to mask our approach." The captain's chair vibrated as electronic countermeasures flared to life. Sensors picked up the electromagnetic interference that blanketed their ship's signature. "Targeting 2 Nigma corvettes." Aaron ordered. Focus fire on their propulsion arrays, not hulls. Disable, don't destroy. A volley of torpedoes launched, streaking silently through the void. One corvette's engine sputtered, flames licking its back hull. Another shuddered under plasma hits. The third vessel banked away, opting to preserve its forces. Prepare rescue pods, Aaron commanded. Priority 1, civilians. The transports drifted in the shadow of massive asteroids. Rescue teams launched swiftly, plucking survivors from lifeboats and shuttles damaged in the attack. In the medbay, Aaron met the convoy's captain, a weary man with salt and pepper hair and haunted eyes. They weren't after cargo, the captain whispered. They wanted to send a message. Aaron's jaw tightened. They made their point. Back on the bridge, Aaron tapped his comm. High Command, this is Resolute. Engagement initiated without prior approval. Civilian convoy attacked by Nigma forces. We've neutralized 2 enemy ships and rescued survivors. Static crackled, then a measured voice replied. Understood, Commander. Await further orders. Aaron switched off the channel. No one believed a measured response would come in time. Alone in his quarters, Aaron stared out at the endless stars. He thought of the Akari incident, the lives lost, the weight of command. They think we're prey. They're wrong. Outside, distant explosions flickered on the station's sensors. The Nigma Empire had drawn a line in the void. Humanity would cross it, or be crushed. The war had begun. The war room aboard the Vigilant, flagship of the Human Confederacy fleet, buzzed with low voices and flickering hollow displays. Massive star charts hovered above the center table, red dots marking the swelling Nigma presence along the border. Commander Aaron Voss stood at the head, arms folded, absorbing the heated debate. Defensive posturing will only delay the inevitable, General Harrow argued, pacing. Our fleets are outnumbered 2-1. A direct confrontation is suicide. Then we strike where they least expect, Aaron said calmly. We hit supply chains, sabotage shipyards, and rally their oppressed vassals to our cause. We fragment their power before they can mass their forces. The room fell silent, skepticism heavy in the air. Admiral Trevin scoffed. That's reckless piracy, Commander. Guerrilla tactics won't bring down a galactic empire. Aaron met his gaze. I didn't come here to play it safe. General Harrow shook his head, fingers tapping nervously on the table. You want authorization for covert strikes? Murmurs rippled through the council chamber. Limited authorization, Aaron replied. Only small teams, surgical strikes. We can't afford open war yet. The vote was close, but necessity tipped the scale. Aaron's plan was greenlit. Later, aboard the stealth shuttle Phantom, Aaron reviewed his strike team. Lieutenant Kessa, former asteroid miner, checked her EVA gear with practiced efficiency. Her dark eyes gleamed with quiet determination. Got your lucky wrench, Kessa? Aaron asked. She smirked. Wouldn't leave home without it. Darrow, a reptilian defector from the Klar species, tuned a compact hacking device. His scales shimmered green under the shuttle's dim lighting. Systems on the shipyard are archaic but layered with adaptive security, Darrow explained. We'll need to move fast. Chief Ramos, explosives expert and veteran of countless sabotage ops, cracked his knuckles. Just point me at their hulls. I'll make some noise they won't forget. The banter was a brief balm against the tension. Each knew what was at stake. The Phantom drifted close to the orbit of Zira, where a sprawling Nigma shipyard churned beneath a protective plasma shield. Dark hulks of warships under construction lined the docks, their alien shapes half completed, glinting with ominous promise. We cloak and approach through the debris ring, Aaron ordered. Sensors are dense but blind spots exist. Stay sharp. Inside the shuttle, every breath was measured, every movement deliberate. The hum of engines faded as they slipped into shadow. The external scanners flashed warnings as automated drone patrols zipped by, their sensors pulsing in rhythmic sweeps. Darrow tapped rapidly on his console. I'm overriding the magnetic locks on Base 7. Should open in 30 seconds. A sudden alarm blared, A patrol drone veered too close. Diverting attention, Darrow muttered, sending a false reactor overload alert across the network. Outside, the drone zipped away toward the phantom signal, buying precious seconds. Inside the shipyard, the team moved like ghosts. The corridors were narrow and lined with biometal panels that pulsed faintly, alive in their own alien rhythm. Strange bioluminescent veins traced the walls, bathing the passageways in eerie blue-green light. Kessa's grip tightened on her toolkit, every sound amplified in the quiet. "Maintenance bay ahead," she whispered. "EMPs planted. We trigger on my mark." Ramos smirked. "My kind of party." With practiced precision, the devices were hidden inside service drones programmed to blend with the shipyard's routine operations. The team melted back toward the exit as alarms suddenly screamed to life. "Breach detected!" Nigma voices crackled over the intercom in sharp, clicking tones. Darrow cursed. "They're locking down the sector!" Aaron gestured sharply. "Evac now. Shuttle is waiting." They raced through twisting corridors, heartbeats pounding in unison. At the hangar, the Phantom waited, engines humming, shields flickering. Aaron's hand was steady as he issued orders. "Board now." The shuttle surged into the black, weaving through an onslaught of plasma fire from alerted turrets. Moments later, the explosion ripped through the shipyard like a star-going nova. Several partially constructed dreadnoughts convulsed as EMP blasts fried their power cores. Fires ignited, sparks showered through open bays. A Nigma commander's voice erupted over comms, frantic and bewildered. "Saboteurs, primitive tactics, how?" Across the Confederacy, news networks seized on the strike. Hope sparked in the hearts of many, a sign the Empire was not invincible. Back aboard the Vigilant, Aaron reviewed a fresh, encrypted transmission. The sender, a representative from the Klar, a reptilian species long subjugated by the Nigma. Their message was simple: "We have intelligence on fleet deployments. We want freedom. We want to fight." Aaron's eyes sharpened. "Prepare a secure channel," he ordered. "This could be the beginning of something bigger." Far from human eyes, on a bleak Nigma warship, Varenthal's mandibles twitched with fury. "They dare incite rebellion within our vassals? Hunt them down. Purge every world that betrays the Empire." His eyes burned with cold fire. "We will snuff out their spark before it becomes a blaze." But the whispers of rebellion were already spreading. That night, Aaron recorded a message to the Confederacy. "We warned them." His voice steady, unwavering. "They chose war. Now the galaxy will witness what humanity is capable of when cornered. We fight not for conquest, but survival. And we will not back down." The transmission cut through the void, a beacon to the oppressed and a challenge to the mighty. The game had changed. The human-led fleet surged through the black expanse of Nigma space, a ragtag armada born of desperation and resolve. Battleships, frigates, and rebel warcraft patched together from dozens of species moved as one, their hulls gleaming under distant stars, engines burning with defiant fire. Commander Aaron Voss stood on the bridge of the HCS Resolute, eyes locked on the swirling chaos of tactical readouts. Around him, the low hum of coordinated activity pulsed like a heartbeat. They were deep in enemy territory now, hunting the core of the Empire. "Admiral," Aaron said, voice tight, "we're approaching the system containing Nigma Prime. Fleet sensors detect heavy orbital defenses but a vulnerability in their command grid. Reports indicate the planetary defense AI hub controls the entire shield matrix and automated turrets." Admiral Trevin replied gravely. "If we can disable it, their fleet coordination will collapse." Aaron's jaw clenched. "I'll lead the infiltration team. No one knows their systems better than me." Trevin's lips twitched with reluctant approval. "We're counting on you, Commander." Under a veil of electronic warfare and debris, drop pods screamed toward Nigma Prime's atmosphere. Aaron's team, augmented by Klar defectors and human special ops, pierced through dense flak and plasma fire. One pod was shredded, the occupants lost in a silent void. The remainder impacted hard on the sprawling orbital citadel, a massive fusion of organic metal architecture, alien and imposing. Bioluminescent veins pulsed faintly on the walls, casting eerie shadows. Aaron felt every breath sharpened by adrenaline. "Stick to the plan," he ordered, rallying his team. "We move fast, get to the AI core, and overload it. No mistakes." The corridors twisted and narrowed, alive with a silent hum that felt almost sentient. Every step echoed through the sterile halls. Security drones glided like ghosts, their sensors scanning relentlessly. Darrow's scales glistened under the cold light as he hacked doors with nimble fingers, his breathing shallow. "Almost there. This lock is ancient but highly encrypted." A sudden burst of static cut through the comms. "Contact!" whispered Kessa, raising her weapon. 2 patrol drones rounded the corner, sensors flaring. Aaron's hand was steady. "Take cover!" he hissed. With practiced precision, they dispatched the drones, quiet, efficient. No alarms triggered. They pressed forward, tension mounting. In the heart of the citadel, the AI core chamber was a cathedral of technology and alien design. Towering consoles pulsed with energy, wires weaving like vines, a hum thrumming through the air. Varenthal stood waiting, his imposing form silhouetted against the flickering consoles. "So, Commander Voss," Varen's voice cut cold through the silence. "You've come to topple the Empire." Aaron stepped forward, eyes blazing. "We came to end your reign of terror." Varen smiled thinly. "You mistake chaos for freedom. Your defiance will be your undoing." Aaron's team worked swiftly, planting charges and hacking the core's fail-safes. Varen's mandibles clicked in frustration. "You think you can destroy what took millennia to build?" Aaron's voice was steel. "We don't destroy it. We force it to consume itself." As the core's systems overloaded, alarms screamed, defense turrets spun to life, but instead of firing outward, they targeted the Nigma fleet in orbit. The battlefield erupted in fiery chaos as their own weapons tore through the capital's defense ships. Back in orbit, the human fleet exploited the confusion, darting through gaps in enemy fire. Rebel vassal ships surged forward, reclaiming strategic platforms and opening corridors for ground forces. Aaron's comm crackled. "Fleet, concentrate fire on command vessels. Disrupt their control nodes." The massive Nigma dreadnoughts, sleek but ponderous, faltered under hit-and-run attacks, their formations fracturing. On the bridge of Resolute, Aaron allowed himself a brief, grim smile. "They thought us weak," he muttered. "They never saw us coming." Varen, cornered, made a final, desperate stand. "Your defiance is an infection," he hissed as he activated the Citadel's self-destruct sequence. "Not today," Aaron replied, triggering the escape pods for his team. The Citadel shook violently as explosions rippled through the structure. Varen's last glance was one of fury and disbelief as the walls collapsed inward. Weeks later, the Nigma Empire lay in ruins. Vassal worlds ignited in rebellion, shedding chains centuries old. The galaxy whispered of a new power, humanity, the unlikely victor. Aaron stood on a liberated world's dusty plains, the air thick with the scent of scorched earth and hope. A young Klar warrior approached. "Commander, your people saved us from darkness." Aaron looked out at the horizon, the weight of victory heavy. "We didn't just save you. We reminded the galaxy, never underestimate humanity." He turned away, footsteps steady, knowing the war was won but the real challenge, peace, was only beginning.